Hey, if you haven't subscribed this channel, please subscribe now. It would motivate us to put more effort in creating such videos. Let's start the video. Hello and welcome to Trello tutorial. Trello is completely free project management tool which is simple to use and organize tasks but has a very attractive user interface. Trello makes it easy for your team to get work done. No matter the project, workflow or type of team, Trello can help keep things organized. It's a web-based tool and its visual work management empowers teams to ideate, plan, manage their work together in a collaborative, productive, and organized way. Whether your team is starting something new or trying to get more organized with your existing work, Trello adapts to any project. Now, as I have mentioned earlier, Trello is a web-based project management tool. So to start using Trello, you would have to type in trello.com, then you would be landed to this page. Now, Trello's free plan are unlike the majority of project management tools that offer free plans but with obvious limitations. Now, just to have a look at the Trello's free plan, let's go to the pricing. Now, if you see the Trello's free plan, you would find out that the Trello is free for up to 10 collaborations per workspace. And in that workspace, you can create the unlimited cards, up to 10 boards per workspace, quickly capture to-dos from email, Slack, and Teams, inbox, unlimited powers, unlimited storage, 250 workspace command run per month. I mean, it's a very generous free plan from Trello. Now to start using Trello, you have to click on Get Trello for free. And for the first time, you would have to sign up to continue. And there is a different options such as the Google, Microsoft, Apple, or Slack. I would like to continue with Google. You can select what do you like. And then afterwards, you would have to type in your email address and give your password, and then you are good to go. All right. So once you have signed up for Trello, you would be landed to the home dashboard. Now, before we create our sample project in Trello, let's try to understand Trello a little bit and also its 4 key components such as boards, Trello workspace, lists, and cards in Trello. Now on the left hand side, the first thing is the boards. In Trello, a board is a central hub for organizing and tracking information, often for projects, teams, or workflows. It's a visual workspace where you can create lists to organize tasks and cards to represent specific items or ideas. Boards can be customized to suit various needs from personal to professional use. After that, the next tab is the templates. These are the templates that you can use for your project management. Trello has also divided the templates into different categories such as business, design, education and engineering, marketing, HR and operations, product management, project management, and so on. So these are the templates that we can use for our Trello boards. We would come back once again to the templates at the end of this video, but let's try to understand more what the Trello offers and create one sample project board by ourselves. And after that, we can use some templates. So these were the templates. So now I click on home to go back to the home page. So on the top right side, if you see here are some information, if there's any information available, such as for the pricing, app, logs, and privacy. Here could be some notification if any notification is available. On the top left side, there is a menu where you can go on to the Trello, or you can from here also go to the home dashboard. Right here is the workspace. If I click on the Trello workspace, workspaces are your team's navigation hub, a place where you can easily find, share, and collaborate on any board. Your organization may have a workspace for the product team where product-related boards are kept, and another workspace for the marketing team where marketing related boards are kept, and so on. There could also be some engineering workspace where the engineering boards are kept. So now if we quickly go through the recent, as we haven't done any activity, that's why you don't see anything here. But if you have worked on some board, you will find out your recently viewed boards here. If you want to access some board quickly, you can stare at them. And once again, here is the templates to use for the project board. All right, so let's go back once again to the home. So let's create our first board. As I mentioned earlier, in Trello, a board is a central hub for organizing and tracking information, often for projects, teams, or workflow. So boards are basically your project's workspace where you can create lists to organizing tasks and cards to represent specific items or ideas. So to create boards, you can come in the Trello workspace and click here on boards. Create your first board. You can either create your first board here, or on the top left you can click on the boards. You can create a new board here, or if you go to the home, here is another option to create a board. So let's create our first project board from the Trello workspace. We come back here on the boards, create your first board, And now you would have to give a title for the board or your project name. I give a title to the board web development, and for the visibility there are the three options. Either I can click on the private, that either the board members and Trello workspace admins can see and edit this board, or I leave it as the workspace. All members of the Trello workspace can see and edit this board, or I can make it public. Anyone on the internet can see this board, but only the board members can edit it. So as it's our private project, I would rather like to keep it as a workspace, or if I want, I also make it private, but I would not like to choose it as a public. So I let it be as if the workspace is. Next, create a board. All right, so now our first board has been created as we have given its name a web development. Now before discussing the list, components and cards of this board, I would like to change its view a little bit simple. And for that, I will go to this option here, change background. And I would, instead of using some picture, I would like to use colors. And I can choose any color such as a light blue, maybe a green, or a gray. Start with the gray. It looks a little simple and everything is clear and precise. I would like to go with this background color. Let's close it. Now as you can see in our recently created board, these are the three lists which is automatically or by default being created, named as a to do, doing and done. So lists in Trello can be used to create a workflow where cards are moved across each step in the process from the start to finish, or simply act as a place to keep track of ideas and information. And there is no limit to the number of lists that you can create to a board, and they can be arranged and titled however you would like. So if you would like to add another list, you just click here, add another list, give a name. For example, I can give a name to our newly added list, troubleshooting. Add list, and boom, a new list has been created. If you would like to create another list, give it another name, what you would like, and boom, you would have another list. All right. So left hand side of the boards, they are the members. If I click on the members, now this is the workspace where I can invite the workspace members or the team members who would work aside me in this project. And to do that, I either can copy the link and send them by email, or you can invite to this project workspace by clicking here, write in an email address and send them the invite, and they would be a part of your team. All right, so let's go back to the boards. Our recently created board is the web development, our project. Now, if you want, you can keep the list name as it is, to do, doing, or done, or you can also change their name by clicking on them. Here, the first one could be issues. The second list name could be work in progress. And the third list could be complete or done or finalized, wherever you would like to give a name. And as I mentioned earlier, if you would like, you can add more lists and give the list titles. In Trello, the project work flows from the left to right. That being said, you would start working on your project from the very first stage or the list named as issues. And here you can add a different cards. In Trello, cards are the core building blocks of a board and represent individual tasks, ideas, or items of work. They are movable across the list and contains detailed, editable description, comments, attachments, deadline, and other features to help you organize and track your project. Essentially, a card is the smallest, most detailed unit of a Trello board, used to represent anything from a specific task to a reminder or a concept. Now, to create a card, I would click on Add a Card. Here, I would enter a title or paste a link. Let's give a title logo. Add card. Next card could be the home page of the website. Another card could be the contact page. Another card could be about us, and so on and so forth. This way you can add the cards. Once the card has been added, you go to the edit card. Open card. Now, as you can see in our recently created card logo, we can give a description such as create a logo design. We can join here another cards, invite our team members if you would like, or for the visual representation, we can create a new label. And it's quite easy. We give a title, for example, is urgent. We choose a card and select a color red, and then create it. And then the urgent label has been assigned to our card logo. If you want to create a more labels, it's quite easy. Press once again and create a new label, select our name, select a color, and that's it. The next thing which is quite handy to add into each card is a checklist. For our logo card, we can name the checklist as logo checklist. Click on add. Here this checklist is created. The first one is, let's say, create 3 logo designs. Add another checklist we can create, get approval from the customer. And if you would like to assign this task to some team member, you can click here, assign, search for the team members, give it the email address, and then assign this task. And if you want to assign some due date, then you can come here, select a date, maybe select a date, and then the due date has been assigned. Add this checklist. So now we have a 2 checklist into our logo card. And if you want to add some attachment, you can add an attachment as a link or choose a file here. And if you would like to give some specific cover for your card, you can also select here cover. Let's select some picture for this card, search for picture. Let's try the productivity. So just want the productivity, and let's select this cover for this card. Alright, so the next to the action stage, if you would like to move this card to another board, you can come select here move and select another board. If you have created another project board, you can move this card to that one, or you can even copy, mirror, make it a template to use it to another project. Now, as we have discussed more or less each component of these cards, now let's hit on the save, close. Now, as you can see, our very first card is looking a little bit compelling. Now, once these cards has been created and someone from our team start working on it, he or she would move this card from the issues to the work in progress and start performing the task of this card. And to open this card, we'll click here, open card. And once the logos checklist is being done, the team member will click on the create 3 logos design once it's completed. So as you can see, it shows also the 50% of the checklist is done, as there are only 2 checklists. And second one, once they get the approval from the customer, we'll also click it's finalized. And now the status shows the work is 100% completed. And now at this stage, our logo is in the list work in progress. Once the work is completed, either we can move our card from work in progress to complete here, or we can go back and just easily drag and drop from work in progress to the complete, just like this. And similarly, in the remaining cards, you can add the descriptions, add some labels, team members, due dates, cover if you would like. And once the issues has been created, the team member would start working. The card would be moved from the issues to work in progress, and once it's completed, it goes to the complete stage. And for any projects when all issues cards has been moved from the issues to the complete phase, we can finally state our project is completed. Now, in the end, just to go through the templates, if you would like to use some templates for your boards, go back to the templates, explore templates. Now it depends which kind of a project you are doing or which kind of a template you would like to use. You can select here. For example, I select a project management. Then I select the very first one, the client workflow management. You come here, you can use this template. And now you can give a title, for example, web development for customer X. Create a board. And now you have created another board. So see, it looks quite intuitive, quite attractive. If you would like to customize the board by yourself, you can choose some picture or color, or if you would like to use some templates, you can also use some templates. So there is a plenty of options. There is a lot that can be done with the Trello. It's very attractive, free to use project management tool, highly recommended. Many big names are using it. And finally, if you would like to export your board, you can come here to the menu, print, export, and share your board. Here you can export your board in JSON or CSV, or show to the QR code, or even you can print your board. All right, so that's it for the introductory Trello tutorial. If you have any question, please do let me know.